Dear students, welcome to the course Ethics in Business Communication, prepared by Aykerim Saranbekova at International Auto University. Today we are going to talk about the nonverbal communication. I will outline what is nonverbal communication, the importance of nonverbal communication, types of nonverbal communication, how to improve nonverbal communication. Communication is much more than words. The tone and facial expressions often carry a greater meaning than words. So sometimes instead of words we can use our nonverbal messages in order to express our feelings. We can communicate a lot through signs, symbols and gestures. What is nonverbal communication? All of nonverbal behaviors, the gestures, posture, tone of voice, how much eye contact you make, sensuous, strong message, all of them are examples of nonverbal communication. Over 70% of the communication is nonverbal. People can put people at ease, build trust and draw others towards you, or they can offend, confuse and undermine what you are trying to convey. This message don't stop when you stop speaking either. Even when you are silent, you are still communicating non-verbally. What comes out of your mouth and what you communicate through your body language may be two totally different things. So sometimes we can use our gestures, body language in order to express something, but our words may be different. 4 types of nonverbal communication. There are 4 categories, so aesthetic, physical, signs and symbols. So let's look each of them. The first category of nonverbal communication, it is aesthetic, involves creative expressions such as art, dance, music, theater. We are using this kind of examples, art, dance, music, in order to express our feelings, emotions, and we are doing it without word, so we can say it is a nonverbal communication. Second type, it is a physical communication, involves bodily movements used during social interactions such as smile, frown, wink, and etc. Symbols are any material objects that promote social status such as jewelry, clothing, cars, hat for example, or wedding ring, and etc. Third category, it is a sign. It includes any signals that are used or displayed to communicate a message or that have a special meaning. Nonverbal communication can play 5 roles. It is a repetition. It repeats and often strengthens the message you are making verbally. So it is giving a more strength to message that you are trying to say verbally. Contradiction, it can contradict the message you are trying to convey, this indicating to your listener that you may not be telling the truth. So as you remember, one of the popular films or movies, Lie, so where is trying to understand the contradiction of the message and the person is trying to hide some truth. Substitution, it can substitute for a verbal message. For example, your facial expression often conveys a far more vivid message than word ever can. Complementing, it may add to or complement your verbal message. As a boss, if you pat an employee on the back in addition to giving praise, it can increase the impact of your message. Accenting, it may accent or underline a verbal message or giving strength or underlying to the word that you said. Pounding the table, for example, shows that it is important, or using your hand to say that they have to listen you carefully, and etc. Types of nonverbal communication. Facial expressions. The human face is extremely expressive, able to convey countless emotions without saying a word, and unlike some forms of nonverbal communication, facial expressions are universal. The facial expressions for happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, fear, and disgust are the same across cultures, so it will be easy to understand. The other type it is a body movement and posture. Consider how your perceptions of people are affected by the way they sit, walk, stand, or hold their head. The way you move and carry yourself communicates a wealth of information to the world. This type of nonverbal communication includes your posture, bearing, stance, and the subtle movements you make. So sometimes nonverbal communication may be a reason or cause of the conflicts or wars. That's why body movements are also important. Gestures are woven into the fabric of our daily lives. You may wave, point, beacon, or use your hands when arguing or speaking animatedly, often expressing yourself with gestures without thinking. However, the meaning of some gestures can be very different across cultures. So let's see the examples. For example, first one that is meaning okay in USA, it means in the Japan money, while in France it means you are big zero. The second it is loser means in USA, in China it is a number 8. Below the third it is in USA it means a good or best. In parts of West Africa it means an offensive gesture. And last one it is good peace means in the USA, while in the UK it means an insult. The other type of the nonverbal communication is eye contact. Since the visual sense is dominated for most people, eye contact is an especially important type of nonverbal communication. The way you look at someone can communicate many things, including interest, affection, hostility, or attraction. Eye contact is also important in maintaining the flow of conversation and for gauging the other person's interest and response. So if you would like to understand if the person or students understand you, of course it is better to look at your eyes. Other type it is touch. We communicate a great deal through touch. Think about the very different messages given by weak handshake, a warm beer hug, a patronizing pat on the head, or a controlling grip in the arm, for example. So touch, it is also other type. Sometimes through our handshakes, our patting or warm hug means how we love person, how we feel toward that person. Space or the personal space, it is used in the ethics as personal space that should be 1 meter, that the people shouldn't step to the personal space. Have you ever felt uncomfortable during a conversation because the other person was standing too close and invading your space? We all have a need for physical space, although that need differs depending on the culture, the situation, and the closeness of the relationship. So if it is your friend, or it is husband, or the more the person you know, and of course we let them enter to our space. But if it is the first time you are meeting and first time seeing the person, but if he enters to the space, it will be known or presented as an unethical person. So let's see the different examples of these gestures, how in different countries this gesture means. For example, it is this gesture in Italy means what do you want? In Congo it means small and little. In Egypt it means just a moment, so wait please. In Turkey something is beautiful or well. So let's watch one video showing that through showing their animation through emotions without any verb. So try to understand what kind of message this video wants to show us or give us. Please try to understand the message. Okay, dear students, today we discussed about what is a nonverbal communication, the types of nonverbal communication, the importance of nonverbal communication, and how to effectively use the nonverbal communication. Thank you very much for your uh, patient, active participation. See you next lesson.